All right, Shalom, Akia. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praise and glory to Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, BAHA QADASH. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And I want to send salutations to all you Akim pushers worth in truth and sincerity. All right, it's going to be a lesson done in spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, Lord willing to edify the flock of the Lord. Okay, and this lesson is going to center around this article here, this press conference that was given by Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. Okay, and the way he spoke, man, he spoke in a very prophetic way in the sense that, the Most High, YAHAWASHI, is prophesying in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, which we're going to grab, that the Lord is going to put an evil thought upon the leader of Gog and Magog, which is the, Gog and Magog were Japhetic nations that inhabit in the modern day Russia. So when the scriptures, say that Gog and Magog, it means the Russians, the people that are dwelling in that land right now at that moment, which are these Edomite Russians. Okay, so it says, Putin reminds everyone that Ukraine joining NATO could lead to nuclear war. 3 days ago, in a jarring answer to a question from the media, Russian President Vladimir Putin said allowing Ukraine to join NATO will increase the prospects of a Russia-NATO conflict that could turn nuclear. Okay, Putin's assertion, made in the context of a complicated hypothetical about an unlikely Ukrainian attempt to take Crimea back from Russia, came during a joint press conference with the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. Okay, so that's basically the chessboard is basically being set up, man. Okay, you got all these nations, aligning themselves, according to what their allegiance is going to be in. Okay, you got NATO, and then you got the Russia. Okay, so this is the Most High basically, which let's grab real quick. Actually, this is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords. And that's basically what Russia did, man. That's why Russia is basically telling you that, if it comes down to it, we're gonna shoot these nuclear weapons at your direction. Okay, so it says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Theater, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahawah, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, and that's what's happening right now, man. All these nations, all these heathenistic nations are being gathered, through these geopolitical situations that are going on throughout the world right now. You got the whole situation over there in China with Taiwan and Australia. You got the situation in the Middle East, or what they call the Middle East, with Iran, Saudi Arabia. Okay, Israel is always in the mix, because the scriptures say that the least of the flock should draw them out. All right, so the least, which is the nation of Israel, is going to create a situation in there where all these nations are going to be brought in to fulfill this prophecy of YAHAWASHI, the Lord's judgment. Okay, but it says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness it is great. Okay, and the scriptures go into, in Revelation, that her sins have reached unto heaven. Okay, so this place is long outdue for some judgment. Okay, and when it does come, the Lord said in 1 hour. Okay, and the form that, the reason it's only going to take an hour is because of the overkill that the Most High, through these missiles, is going to bring to America, Babylon the Great. Okay, so let's get back to this article. So it says, with over 100,000 Russian troops amassed at the Ukrainian border, the conference was originally called to discuss ways to de-escalate the situation. However, about 45 minutes into the meeting, Putin made it clear there were some lines that could not be crossed without severe and possibly even nuclear consequences. There will be no winners, he said. Okay, and ultimately there is going to be a winner, man, and that's going to be the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, being set up in your proper order under YAHAWASHI. Okay, that's the ultimate W that we're going to get. Okay, there will be no winners, he said, describing a hypothetical future in which Ukraine had joined NATO and then attempted to invade Russian-occupied Crimea. And you will find yourself drawn into this conflict against your will. You will be fulfilling Article 5 in a heartbeat, even before you know it. Article 5 of the NATO's founding treaty says that any attack on a NATO member is an attack on all members. This principle of collective defense, NATO says, is at the heart of its treaty. The only time the article has been invoked was on September 11, 2001, when terrorists attacked the United States. Do you realize that if Ukraine joins NATO and decides to take Crimea back through military means, the European countries will automatically get drawn into a military conflict with Russia? Putin said, of course, NATO's united potential and that of Russia are incomparable. Okay? Though the Kremlin's English language transcript has Putin using somewhat ambiguously the term incomparable, he also asserted that Russia is one of the world's leading nuclear powers and is superior to many of those countries in terms of number and modern nuclear force components. And that's Joel, the 3rd chapter, full on, man. These nations, primarily Russia, Iran, and basically any nation with a target in his back, North Korea. Okay, what they do, they basically heavily invested in their military buildup, man. They modernized their weapons, and not all weapons. Basically, they concentrated the modernization on these nuclear weapons, on these missiles, man. Okay, Russia has hypersonic missiles that could reach this place in minutes. Okay, so that was basically the Lord leveling the playing field, man. Okay, so it says that, and Putin is correct. In early 2021. Nuclear Notebook authors Hans M. Christensen and Matt Corder estimated that Russia has a stockpile of nearly 4,500 nuclear warheads, which is more than enough weapons to obliterate countless cities and military facilities, sending massive fires, the smoke from which will send the world into nuclear winter. The United States has about 3,800 nuclear warheads and another 1,750 retired warheads awaiting dismantlement. A force that has civilization-ending capabilities. The nuclear arsenals of the United Kingdom and France are small by comparison, but still powerful enough to cause mass death and environmental damage. All right. So, Most High is basically getting things kicked in, man. We have this MOTB basically about to be made mandatory. So on all levels are we seeing these prophecies come to life, man. Okay, this is Ezekiel 38:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yahawah power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And that's basically what's happening, man. These Russians are getting that old Soviet Union militarily pride, man. They're basically saying, hey, you could come at us, but we're going to come back at you with double the force. Okay. So, this old warlike spirit is being put upon these nations, man, especially Russia. Okay. Because Russia is basically the biggest obstacle in a sense for America and these other nations, man, to do whatever the hell they want to do. And the Lord set it up like that, man, because the scriptures say a house divided against itself shall not stand. And all these are Edomites, man, that are coming at each other. Okay, so it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, man. Okay, and all these nations are going to gather behind Russia, man. You got Iran, Libya, Syria. You got a lot of nations that back up Russia, and that Russia's going to basically be a guard onto them, man. A defense. Okay? So it says Persia, Ethiopia, Persia being the Iranians, man. Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and his bands, the house of Torgama of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, and that's where you always hear Russia come in, in these political situations, to basically support the nation that's being invaded. Like the case in point, Syria. Okay, Russia's all up in there, and that's why they really haven't done what they wanted to do in Syria, man. Okay, because Russia's all up in there. Okay, and America, they haven't fought a conventional war in a long time. Russia, hey, everything they train for is for conventional war. And basically a conventional war is a war that's fought between countries. Okay, not these what do they call it? The wars that non-conventional war, where basically, the United States goes into this country and they're not fighting a state-backed military. You're fighting these insurgents, these armed groups and things like that, man. Just like Afghanistan, that was a non-conventional war, okay, where basically it wasn't a military against another military. But this third world war, man, just like World War II, is gonna be conventional, man. Well, conventional and nuclear, okay, because it's gonna start off, being a conventional war, and then it's gonna escalate to a nuclear war, okay, all through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, okay. So it says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, and they're preparing themselves. That's why they're building their military the way they're building it, and basically specializing in these deterrents, which is these nuclear weapons, okay. So it says, and all thy company they are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud over to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Okay, and hey, these Russians are known for the size of their military, man. I believe during World War II, can't remember the exact figure, but it was around 20 million Russians died. Okay, so thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord power, it shall come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Okay, and that's what I thought about as soon as I heard Putin talk about what he was talking about, man. That evil thought. Okay, saying that, okay, well, you may invade us, you may surpass us militarily, but at the end of the day, when all is said is done, the end game, that button's right here, man, and I'm gonna press it. Okay, and that's what's gonna happen ultimately, man. Not only the Russians are gonna shoot these missiles, but the allies of America, according to Revelation, the 17th chapter, man. The whore, the beast shall hate the whore. Okay, so it says, and they shall think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gate. And that's basically America. Okay, this land known as America. Okay, where the Edomites dwell. Okay, and basically the whole, the captivity of the nation of Israel. Okay, so it says, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of all the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Okay, so the point being that, this evil thought is being put upon these nations, especially this man Putin. Okay, and it's gonna end up with nuclear missiles being shot from all parts of the world, man. Okay, and that's what's coming. So this is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy, and these wasters are gonna be deployed throughout the world. Okay, there's different parts of the world that are gonna get hit, but the bulk of these missiles is coming to America, Babylon the Great, according to the book of Revelation, where it says that 200,000 are gonna hit this place, which is 200 million warheads. Okay, so it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment shall thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of YAHAWAH by Hashem YAHAWASHI, and the righteousness is of me, saith the Lord, man. Okay, so we're all with this. We get excited when we see these things happening, because it means an escalation. It means that we're that close to all hell breaking loose. Okay, and we, according to what the prophecies and according to what we were taught by our elders, they told us, hey, once you see that this MOTB being made mandatory in the world, then shall thou know that, World War III and all these things are going to happen after that. Okay, and that's what we're seeing, man. This MOTB, by the form of this potion, okay, is already laying the groundwork. Okay, it's just a matter of time before they make it so that Everybody has to be implanted with one of these devices so that they may conduct business in this society. Okay, so as that is happening, man, that's why you see these geopolitical situations heating up throughout the world. Okay, because before one domino falls, the other one has to fall. Okay, according to what the prophecy says, that the Most High is not a man that he shall lie. Okay, so it says, Jeremiah 50 and 25, Yahawah has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Okay, so the Lord's armory is being open, man. That's why he gave these nations the capabilities to build these missiles. Okay, all for the purpose of, basically them destroying themselves. Okay, so this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 13. Salakia. It reads, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that be shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay, so you think about a natural, a normal arrow, a bow and arrow, man. They're so far you could throw that arrow, right? But this scripture is talking about arrows that are going to be shot from one part of the earth to another part of the earth. And Ezra's describing it basically with the best, with the knowledge that he has, trying to put it in perspective. Okay, and if you look at these missiles, man, when they're being shot, it does look like an arrow. They got the tail, they got the pointy tip. Okay, so that's why Ezra's described them as an arrow. Okay, so it says, for strong is Salakia, verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Okay, and that's what we see these nations, these leaders of the nations taking these stands, man. Because everything's being orchestrated by a higher power. The Most High is controlling the minds of the kings and the princesses. Okay, and they're gonna ultimately do as the Most High wills it to do. Okay, which is at the end of the day for this third world war to kick off. Okay, so it says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right, and we're telling you about it, man. We're prophesying to you that these things are gonna happen, and they're happening, right? Brothers, we're talking about many years ago. Hey, that there's gonna come a time where Esau's gonna make a move, and he's gonna implement a system where everybody's gonna have to bow the knee to the system, or else they're not gonna be able to be a functioning member of the society. That's happening right now as we speak. Okay, so hey, the prophecies reign supreme. Okay, and every man is a liar. Okay, everything that they tell you in the world is a lie. Everything that's happening right now is being orchestrated by YAHAWASHI, and his prophets are telling you. Okay, and I'll close out with this. This is Joel 2 and 1. Blow ye the trumpets in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahawah cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Okay, and that's basically the times that we're approaching right now. The day where Yahweh Shemashai is going to plead for his people Israel against all these hedonistic nations. Okay, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not ever been the like, neither shall be any more after it, even the years of many generations. And this great army, man, this great people is talking about these missiles. These ICBM missiles are going to be shot from one part of the earth to another part of the earth. Okay, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. Okay, and if you ever look at these nuclear tests, these nuclear tests that they do, hey, you look at the land before it hits, and afterwards it obliterates everything. No houses, nothing is left standing. So just imagine when it hits a major epicenter, a major city. You're going to really see that, It was all good, and as soon as that missile hit, after it was all gone. Everything's gone. Okay, because those weapons are, hey, the scriptures describe it as a besom of destruction. Okay, so it says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and the horse represents power. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devours the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Because none of them are going to break the rank. The spirit of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is going to be upon them. And more than that, these weapons possess, what is it called? Tracking system? No, that's not it. They basically fly. They move around in the air, man. They could dodge things. Okay, they elevate, they come down. They move around basically. Okay, guidance system. They have a guidance system. That's the word. All praise YAHAWASHI. So it says, like the noise of a chariot on top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. Because once you see those missiles coming, you see the little stars coming and they're getting closer and closer. Hey, that's your ass already, man. Okay, if you don't have this word of the Lord YAHAWASHI, okay, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Okay, and that goes into the guidance system that these missiles have. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break the rank. Neither shall one trust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run about the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heaven shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark. And that goes into that nuclear winter that the article described. Okay. And the stars shall withdraw their shining. And the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executed his word. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible. And who can abide it? Okay. So, that's what the scriptures describe as terrible visitation. Okay. Hey, knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. Okay. And basically, anybody that doesn't fall in line with this truth and are not of the Lord's elect, your lot is with those that are going to taste of the lake of fire, which is going to be that nuclear apocalypse that's coming to this place. Okay. So with that, brothers, I pray the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahawah, BAHA YAHAWASHI, BAHA QADASH. I want to give double honors to your apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to all you brothers pushing worth in truth and sincerity. I want to say shalom.